The algorithm. In a bombshell release back in December 2021, the New York Times exposed TikTok's dark underbelly with a leaked document titled TikTok Algo 101. This sensitive document provided a perturbing insight into how the app decides which content to prioritize. An anonymous insider shared the document, aiming to expose the platform's shadowy practices. As with other social media platforms, TikTok relies on algorithms to determine the kind of content that each user sees next. These algorithms are designed to learn our habits and preferences, seemingly delving deep into our psyches to keep us scrolling for as long as possible. The most alarming revelation from the leaked document was that the TikTok algorithm determines certain types of sad and depressing content to be the most profitable and addictive. By intentionally presenting users with a stream of negative content, the algorithm could hold users' attention for longer periods, increasing valuable user retention rates. Even more troubling, the algorithm prioritized videos that promoted harm, encouraging users to engage in a downward spiral of increasingly dark content. It's a sinister strategy that has left many questioning the platform's motives and practices. As if that weren't enough, the same document revealed that TikTok's privacy policy leaves much to be desired. Moderators and employees have access not only to publicly shared content, but also to private chats, making it clear that the company's data collection practices are cause for concern. While the ultimate repercussions of TikTok's practices remain to be seen, the sharing of TikTok Algo 101 is a stark reminder that social media platforms are not always what they seem, and that users need to remain vigilant about how their data is being used. TikTok spying. In late 2022, TikTok, whose Chinese parent company ByteDance has received criticism worldwide for its policies, fired 4 employees due to a controversy that violated the privacy of users and reporting journalists. Numerous leaks, including that of the TikTok Algo 101 document, which revealed the inner workings of TikTok's recommendation engine, have plagued the tech giant in recent months, with journalists releasing sensitive information, which has led to more ethical criticisms and accusations of foul play. To determine which of its employees were responsible for the leaks, TikTok used its own app, installed on more than 1 billion phones, to examine the IP addresses of journalists, tracking their movements against those of its employees. When the scandal emerged, Rubo Liang, chief executive of ByteDance, fired the 4 members of staff who had directly accessed the private IP addresses of high-profile journalists, and the following regretful statement was published, quote, "The public trust that we have spent huge efforts building is going to be significantly undermined by the misconduct of a few individuals." The company's internal investigation then revealed that employees had wrongly accessed the personal details of a number of US users, in addition to those of the journalists. It also came out that TikTok and ByteDance had initially discussed the possibility of categorically denying these accusations, suggesting that, while it may have only been a small handful of employees who directly violated users' privacy, it seems unlikely that they were alone in their coercion and dishonesty. While TikTok Chief Officer Vanessa Pappas has testified that TikTok does not share data with the Chinese government, this incident further added to concerns about the extent to which this vast tech company can be trusted. An alternate universe. The outbreak of the Russian-Ukrainian war brought attention and criticism to TikTok, this time by highlighting the differences between the app versions offered to users in different countries. TikTok took a unique stance from other social media companies, caving to requests from the Russian government and effectively walling off Russian users from the rest of the world. The changes prevented users from seeing any posts from outside Russia and put new limits on posting live streams and videos deemed critical of the government and its actions against Ukraine. Social media activists called out TikTok for essentially creating a censored sibling version of its app. In a very short period of time, researchers found that TikTok became an echo chamber for potential propaganda with no additional context from the outside world. Conversely, the Russian government banned Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram altogether. This incident raised concern about the increasingly close relationship between Beijing and the Kremlin, but also drew attention to the differences between other versions of the TikTok app. Activist Tristan Harris revealed that the Chinese-owned parent company of TikTok offers Chinese users a more wholesome, educational, and psychologically healthy version of its app. In contrast, those in the US get a version of TikTok that is potentially more addicting to kids. Because of these differences, Harris, who is a former Google employee and now campaigns for humane technology, stated that, quote, "It's almost like they recognize that technology is influencing kids' development, and they make their domestic version a spinach version of TikTok, while they ship the opium version to the rest of the world." The Russian situation remains unchanged, with no outside information reaching the tens of millions of Russian TikTok users. However, some Russian citizens have found ways around the restrictions, using proxies and VPNs to navigate the technical roadblocks and gain access to outside sources of information. The ugly truth. Despite algorithms playing an essential part in selecting which content is prioritized and shown to users, the TikTok moderators also have a more direct and equally unsettling influence. In 2020, leaked documents revealed that TikTok moderators were being instructed to suppress content that didn't meet certain criteria. This approach sought to create an outwardly positive, aspirational quality to the platform by curating the tone of the videos presented in the For You section of the app, which is highly popular and can bring huge numbers of views to a particular video. One of the criteria moderators were instructed to suppress included images of people considered ugly. The leaked documents even define what they mean by this, singling out individuals who are, quote, chubby, obese, or too thin. They also explicitly mention those with, quote, ugly facial looks or facial deformities. One stunning portion of the description instructs TikTok moderators to suppress images of those users with an abnormal body shape, including people with dwarfism and other physical disabilities, directly mentioning beer bellies, eye disorders, facial scars, and more. Also suppressed are videos shot in an environment that the document describes as, quote, shabby and dilapidated, due to their belief that, quote, this kind of environment is less fancy and appealing. After the leak, it was soon suggested that these criteria are disableist and discriminatory, and that they function to oppress poorer TikTok users. Other topics censored by moderators include political discussions and matters related to national agencies, such as the police. TikTok's policy regarding the content it deems to be controversial has garnered accusations that the platform may be stifling free speech and violating privacy. In response, a spokesperson from TikTok stated that these policies represented, quote, an early, blunt attempt at preventing bullying, but are no longer in place. Many are skeptical of this because the prevention of bullying as a motive for TikTok's policies isn't mentioned in the original leaked brief whatsoever. Project Texas. TikTok's potential backdoor access to US users' data raises alarm, with tensions escalating as the true extent of data collection comes to light. The popular app's growing security concerns in the West have reached a boiling point, prompting governments and regulators to respond. Leaks and whistleblower testimonies have exposed TikTok's intrusive data gathering on US users. In March 2023, a former employee advised Congress that the app's spying capabilities were far more significant than previously disclosed. The whistleblower emphasized the need for, quote, a complete re-engineering to ensure TikTok's safe operation in the US. A proposal from the company, nicknamed Project Texas, aims to address these concerns by having Oracle, an independent Texas-based company, manage US users' data. However, critics argue that the proposed solution may not be entirely leak-proof and are pushing for more stringent measures. TikTok's security issues come at a crucial moment as the app faces potential restrictions in Western countries concerned about their national security. In response to the security risks, the UK banned government ministers and civil servants from using TikTok on government phones as of March 16, 2023. The US has also implemented similar policies, with some officials advocating for a nationwide ban on the app. As leaks continue and more whistleblowers emerge, the fate of Project Texas remains uncertain. One thing is clear: officials are likely to take action soon in response to TikTok's increasing security concerns. Thank you for watching Dark 5. Like and subscribe to continue exploring the greatest mysteries of this world and beyond. And let me know if there are any other dark TikTok secrets that you want me to investigate.